All right, we're live. Let's pop this in so that we're not getting a bunch of reverb if something hits over our microphone. But so we're going to keep working in Dungeon Draft today. In fact, let me pull that over here. But we did get our Foundry to work the way we want it to. So I'll probably talk about that a little bit, show you what we've got going, our options with the roof, and also why we're not going to do the way we have it set up right now. All right, everything's good. So let's switch over to this screen. So this is Foundry, it's not Dungeon Draft. And this is showing, I can tell right here, I didn't set one thing up inside there. Let me fix that real quick. See this, you shouldn't be able to see through this fireplace. So we're going to put in our terrain walls really quick. And this is the only issue. You kind of see our walls. They're a little bit goofy. So there's that. Ground floor. I don't know what's going on there. Now it's acting weird. I had it set perfect yesterday. Oh, hold on. I know why. You got to turn that off or things get messed up. All right, so that's got our ground floor walls there. Second floor has that. Because these things are on an angle and you still have to work within the parameters of the program that you're working in, the walls themselves are a little bit funky. The only way you can fix that is if you build all your buildings square to the grid. And we wanted to do this map the way that Phandalin is actually done in the module. So we've got everything set up this way, and it does mean we'll have a few little issues here. Now, the other thing, I was walling this stuff in yesterday so I could test and set everything up. The other thing really we need to do is set this as a terrain wall, which a terrain wall would be limited on both those. When you update it, it turns into that terrain wall color. So the players won't be able to go through there, but they'll be able to see that there's steps over there. You can do it either way. It doesn't really matter as long as everything looks clean. So let's talk about how we've got this set up right now and why I probably won't use it. Now see, right now what we have, while you're outside, you're able to see the windows. And you're able to see through them. Like that's an open door. You can see through that. It does make it a little bit funky where, you know, as you move around, so like right now you would be under the roof there because the roof hangs out here. But what it does, it chops off the roof right at the walls. And I guess what's kind of nice, it lets them see in on that first floor. So it's kind of nice. It allows windows to be windows and allows them to see through and look into the building. But this uses a lot of resources. And I've talked about this before where you've got to be considerate of the players that you're playing with. And what will happen is somebody doesn't have a good internet connection or a really good graphics card or on their computer, an old laptop with like a, what is it, Intel 6000 integrated graphics on a laptop. It's really going to slow things down. It'll be real jittery. It's going to cause issues. So honestly, what I'll end up doing when I set this up is this. I'll go in here, turn on the roof. So there's our roof. We'll go in and instead we'll go to show the tile through the fog. And it won't be able to peek in through the windows out there, but it will eliminate the issues that they can have. I need to turn this off. The issues that you can have by allowing that to happen. So let's go back here and let's take a look now. So they'll get an indication that there are windows there because you kind of see the light going, and that eliminates the problems that you would have with those windows open as far as performance issues. So let's go ahead and pop this and watch what happens. So we come in on the ground floor, the roof goes away. They won't see this. This is our marker that we placed, and pretty happy with what's going to happen here. So let's say they go upstairs. They've already rented their room. So right now they're still on this first floor. You go there. Now they're on the second floor. So now they've gone upstairs. It's indicated. It changes our height to plus 10 feet. If they go over and look out the windows, they can actually look out and see through the windows what's going on the town. Even though they're on a totally different level, it will make it so that, you know, they're in their room. They can look out over the town, see what's happening. So we've gotten this all figured out and squared away where that the roof does what it's supposed to do. The steps, which they can't go through there, I've got that set up as a wall. Now they're back downstairs and able to do whatever they're going to do. So we only set up, yeah, we jumped out the window. We set up so that this is, what's going on there? Oh, you know what? I bet those windows are lining up. Let's go in and take a look. See, that's what's happening. The windows are lining up. I'm like, what's going on? But that's fine. There's not much we can do about that. I'll figure out if there is anything we can do about it. But, you know, the players will be able to run around and see what they can see, all that good stuff. But now we have that. I finally figured out what was going on, why the roofs were not working properly. We set this building up, and I'll probably Sear, how's it going? So I don't know. Did you see that we figured out and fixed all of our level issues and stair issues and everything else on the inside of Foundry? So now we have it set. Again, players won't see this. This will just be an active spot on the map once they go up. First floor. Now we're on the second floor. I'm doing well. I'm doing really well since this weekend we figured out our issues inside of Foundry, why that wasn't working the way it's supposed to work. And it's mostly because you only drop one spot down, like on the floor below, and then it takes you up to the next floor, the level directly above. So I thought I had to place it on both like it normally do with multi-level tokens where you teleport that way. But nope, everything is working perfectly. All right, so let me go ahead and now that we've got that working and it's all set, fixed, good to go. We messed with this last time. We're going to go back into a regular map and finish that level off. But what I'm going to end up doing is copying our floor that we have established and then pasting it into a second instance so that we have day and night versions of our maps. And we're pretty happy with how it looks. So we'll copy this through the entire thing for our nighttime maps once we get all of our daytime maps done. Hopefully you had a nice weekend, Seer. But we're feeling pretty good about our map here. And that was a real simple fix. Just bring up the lights on these items here a little bit as far as their radius. Leave the intensity as it is, and we've got a nice night scene. And that shadow we built inside of our day scene makes it really better in here where we know that, you know, this is just a dark hallway. It's not a really good design since somebody would just get mugged in here, but, you know, we'll assume people are going to bring their own lighting with them or, you know, they're going to stumble in the dark for their keys if they're human, if they don't have a torch. So it's all good. It's all good. But now we've resolved our Foundry issues with that one module and figured out exactly what we need. So let's zoom out a little bit here. So at this point, I mean, look at this. We are on the first floor, damn close to done. Or are we? Oh shit, look at this. So we have a first floor for the building, but the second floor it's a tree house, I guess. We need to fix that. Let's go ahead and how the hell did we do that? Well, you know what? There's a really simple solution to this. How the hell did we do that? And look, I bet there's even a roof on this building. There is. See, and the second floor is slightly different from the first floor, but I think what I'm going to do is this. So let's filter for walls and patterns. And layers don't matter. Not here. So we'll go bam. Copy. We need to compare that to the second level. What's going on here? Why is the level comparison not working on this part of the map? Oh, look, this is why. It's freaking broken right now. I got to restart the program. Already. Well, I had it on all weekend because I was messing with getting stuff fixed. So let's let's make sure this crap is saved. I love when this happens. I didn't think ahead. I didn't figure I was going to have this issue. But let's fix this. Yeah, it'd be really nice if we could do DD to VTT as tiles. I might experiment with that offline where I export the little sections as tiles that way, but I don't think it's going to work. In fact, I know it's not going to work. And I'm pretty sure with what we've seen where, you know, our walls get all kinds of funky in there. Um, I think I understand, you know, we understand why now. Like in Phandalin, if somebody plans to do what we're doing, they end up squaring off all these buildings to the grid. Um, but I don't want to change the town that much. I mean, it's a minor change, but this town is not laid out like a an orderly town where you know, like it's not a suburban neighborhood where you go down and the freaking streets are all parallel and perpendicular and everything's in a line. So we want to stick to this idea of this rural town the way it was built. But I have started going in and let's see, where is this? So I'm going to open up the map while we're waiting. See, I mean, it's just all, you know, you've got to figure some building got put in here first, right? So, but it's just this mishmash of stuff as the town grew. You can see there, you know, it used to be a walled in town here and it doesn't exist anymore. Um, but it's not like this place had an orderly design. And I think it kind of ruins the idea of this town when you come in and create this orderly design to this totally disordered place. And so the walls being a little bit funky because the walls of the buildings themselves, they look square. It's just those wall lines inside of Foundry that are going to be a little funky that nobody except the DM's ever going to see. It's not going to affect anything. So, you know, I feel like it would just, it's doing the map a disservice to be like, well, I need everything to be square so that things look perfect on the Foundry map walls. That's just not, it doesn't work. I just wanted to keep keep to the notion that this is just a rural town that slowly grew up. You know, somebody put the first building down there, and then other people started putting it up. Then they probably said, well, let's kind of cut a crappy path of a street in and have a central square here. And, you know, that's how the town grew up. So we're just keeping it that way. It's not like modern cities where you've got city planners designing them from the get-go. It'll take a while, but hopefully this fixes our issue and we can go ahead with I really want to know what happened to that first floor. I was positive that we had that. So what we're going to have to do is we'll copy the second floor instead of searching for our assets, and then we'll go ahead and start adjusting the wall points. Is this getting ready to crash? God. I thought it was getting ready to crash on me. That would have been awesome. So filter, it doesn't even matter. There is nothing sitting on this level except for these second floor things. So we're going to copy that. Then we'll go to our first floor. We'll compare to, going to compare to second floor first. So we drop this exactly where it needs to go. Paste that here. Let's zoom in. And let's zoom out. What happened? It didn't copy the walls. Let's try this again. Let's filter it for walls and patterns. Copy. Paste. Oh, you little bastard. So now we got to figure out what we used for our wall here. Wall tool. And you see it's a double wood. Let's turn compare off. I'm pretty sure this is it. Oh, that's it. All right, let's kill the shadow because it sucks. And then our pattern. It's one of these wood patterns. Well, that's a roof. Our pattern is that it? I think it is. Yeah, we're good. All right. So let's go to the first floor. We're going to compare to the second. Well, hold on. I want to do something before I do that. Second floor. Compare that to ground. What the fuck? What the fuck? Look at how off that is. What the hell happened here? I think we're going to rebuild the, where's the roof? How did they get rotated? How did that happen? It got moved and rotated somehow. All right, so I'm going to have to see if we can move all of this and get it back to lined up. And then we're just going to build that bottom floor again. That's fucked up. All right. Filter all layers, all. See, that wall isn't even getting selected. Why? That's just totally off. You know what? Fuck it. Delete. Delete. We're going to rebuild this building. Roofs. Fuck it. I am going to keep this and this. And then I'm not that worried about anything else. Delete, delete. I hate rebuilding. But that's so messed up. It's not even funny. So we killed everything. And this is what I'm going to do. We're going to copy, paste. I'm going to move this up here so I have open ground. And we're going to start building here. We're going to build the floor and we'll move everything down. I don't know why it's not letting me do what I really need to do. All right, so we'll go here, pattern shape tool. All right, that's our first floor. All right, then I need the picture from this. And what we're looking at, so we've got these overhangs which tell us like this is a first floor portion. This is a second floor portion the way it's built. So we've got this is second floor. Honestly, I'm going to say that I'm going to adjust how I did this building. The second floor is just going to be this portion here, and then everything else will be first floor. So let me move this over here as our reference. And I don't like the direction of these floorboards here. We're going to turn them 90 degrees. And I tell you what, we had it. We had a glimpse. All right. So let's make sure. Yeah, I like it running that direction better. In fact, let's do this as one piece. So that's that. Now we're going to build our roof based on that, and we're going to have it just come out and extend out that entire half a tile. What's going on? First floor, second floor, ground. Fuck. Oh, well, you know what? That's easy to fix. Is it easy to fix? I done? It doesn't even matter. All right, we're good. Let's go ahead and so we're going to copy first floor, paste. Hopefully it's right on top of where it needs to be. Compare to ground. All right, that's good. Let's go back to ground. Let's delete that. First floor exists now. We're going to do our roof. And we're going to compare that to first floor. And like I said, we're going to do our roof so that it overlaps there. And we're going to have to put the walls in after the fact. All right. So this is going to be a roof layer. I don't even care about the color of this roof at this point in time. So we'll do this as a gable roof. Then we need this as a gable roof. And it's fine if it goes in. This is all going to be fine. Then we need this one here. Oh, you know what we're doing? We're doing the roof, so it's like exactly the size, and that's the exact opposite of what you want. So there we go. There's that. There's that. There's that. This one needs to be over. Undo. There's that. It can be a little bit off. That's fine. Then we need this roof section to be over those. There's our overhang. And then this one, I think a dormer is what we need. Yep. This one we need to come in. We need to get rid of the snap on this one so that we can make it work perfectly. Zoom. All right, that's good. So now we have those two levels done, the ground and the roof. We're going to jump in between, and we're going to adjust this so that it's the way that we Probably should have built it in the first place. So let's turn compare levels off. And then we have, there's our first floor. We need the second floor. We're going to compare to the roof. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to go back to our pattern shape tool. We've got to turn 90 degrees. We'll put our snap to grid back on. Excuse me. Stupid allergies. And there's our second floor. Perfect. All right, let's look at our ground. First floor, that's already set to compare to ground. So now all we need to do is this. So we need our pattern, not our roof. Let's rotate that a bit. Let's just find a point. We're going to zoom in and make sure we have that as good as possible. As long as it's covering that little spot that we created for the building plot, then we're good. All right, so that's good. Let's deselect. We don't want that to move at all. There we go. So now we need our second floor. Compare that to first because we want them to line up perfectly. Same thing, we're going to bring this down. Let's get it to rotate. Does that look right? I think it does. All right, let's compare. Looks like it is mostly lined up, so we're good. Now we'll go to our roof level. We're going to compare that to the first floor. Leave that like that. Filters off. All right. And for this, we really want that floor to come through. Makes things easy to follow. Well, here's the thing. I know that I end up getting way too methodical about everything that I do. But that's just me. Everything's way too much about precision. What's going on here? There's some weird stuff going on there. There's something weird going on. You see that? It's first floor, second floor. I think I'm going to make an adjustment to that first floor on some points real quick. We're going to compare that to the second floor, and then I don't have to change my roof. All right, let's edit these points. Yeah, I want to bring this so that we're going to have to turn snap off, and hopefully we don't get this all cockeyed now. You know what? We're going to have a wall on here soon enough. I think it'll be fine. We're going to leave it alone. But yeah, that was a little bit, I don't know what we did there. Let's compare this to the ground level. What's going on? So first floor compared to ground. I don't know what we did there, but I'm going to adjust that as well because personally, I want these walls to be lined up like, maybe you see the roofs how they are. I kind of look at it like they built a building, then they built some more. It looks like it was put together in pieces. Maybe it grew as time went on. So ground compared to first floor. That's better. Probably a good thing that we ended up making some adjustments here. So we have first floor, second floor, and roofs. Now they all line up perfectly. So I have no idea what the hell happened there, but it's all good. Yes. All right, let's get our chimney attached to our roof. We don't need to compare anymore. Where does that go? So this, we just need objects. And above roof. Looks like that's like right there on our original drawing. We'll stick to that. And then this goes here. There we go. Good to go. I really hate when, like I said, it's probably a good thing that things went a little bit wrong there, but it's can be a little disconcerting. Smoke. We added some new assets this weekend. And we're not going to use them for what they are intended to be used for. We're going to use those as additional shading tools. So we added these smoke assets, which honestly, I think those will make a nice grunge effect once you color them. And we added some light effects, which I'll show what we added in just a second. Let me finish laying out some shadows. So we need our path tool. And this is another asset that we just added. And we kind of like it. Shadow path small. So we added this, and we'll do this as under. And I'll show you what I like about it. So you see it does what a shadow kind of does, where it's a hard shadow right up against our object, but then it fades out. So we're going to play with that. I just need to see what direction I've got to draw in. So we'll go like this. See, that looks like a bit of a cleaner shadow. Let's go ahead and edit the point here. I want that to end there. And we'll do the same thing here, because this shadow, I mean, I don't feel like that's going to cast on the ground. Now, I saw somebody else using these, and that's when I was like, you know what, they look pretty good. But one thing I noticed, I don't think the person that was using them has ever used like a graphic program for art. Because what he ended up doing, you know, on his corners, if you're used to using something like Clip Studio Paint, you kind of learn that what you need to do when you come up to a corner. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do it this way, and I'll show what I'm talking about. So, you know, if you come up to a corner, you do that. You know, weird things are going to happen, especially with where you have the turn. And his issue was that he would have like these weird, you know, you can get these weird overlay lines, right? And that's true, because the shadow, if you don't draw it right, the shadow will start to overlay and create these spline lines. So what you need to do is, let's say this is the corner we're going to turn. Right before the corner, you pop it. Right at the corner, you pop it. And then just past it. Now, I was a little too close there, but you can see on the other side, see, these are the spline lines that you'll end up with sometimes. So let's do it one more time. You come down here at the midpoint, do that. On the corner, do that. Then away from the corner, and you get a clean shadow. What I saw them doing was coming down here. They would do So we can do snap now. So they were going like this. And then they would go like this. And then they'd go in and there's an object that they make that you can go in and place that there. I don't feel like that's necessary. You know, as long as you place your points somewhere around this midpoint as well as the corner, you're going to get a clean turn. So I don't, you know, my personal opinion is don't add extra work if you don't have to add extra work. All right, let's turn snap off and we're going to create our shadows here. I think we're going to take it down about. Let's see how big that is. That's probably perfect. So, undo. Now, I think the problem here is going to be, nope, it didn't. I was afraid it was going to do some weird stuff there, but it didn't. Probably because we have it above roofs. So anything that we need to go across like that, we'll keep it above roof. And the fact that this doesn't have the other shadow we've been using, it doesn't have a hard edge side, where this one has a hard edge side and a fade out. So this will allow us to run that shadow along an edge and make it look like an edge shadow, even if it's placed above. So we'll go there, 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 and then we'll come in here. And that works out pretty clean. Same thing here. Let's redo that one. And this, I think all these we can do is just like on one of those top levels. In fact, let's just redo this shadow and we'll bring it all the way around because we've got this weird ending here. So let's see if we can edit these points out. We'll bring this back here, right? What's going on? Let's pop that there. Bring that over here. Let's create another point. Put this on the corner. We'll put this right here. So right now it's just inside a little bit. We need it right up against that edge. Let's see. So that looks good. And that looks good. Maybe pull this in a little bit because we're seeing some hot points right there. So like that. We want that as close as possible so we don't have that really rounded cut there. Let's see. I think I'm going to adjust this to there and we're good. And we've got, again, it looks like there's light shining right there. I'm going to pop that on the corner. Bring that in a little bit closer. Pull that in. What the hell is this? What is that? Let's figure that out. Let's say all. all. What is that? See that? I don't know what it is, but it's gone now. All right. Same thing. Path tool. We're going to put this on layer 4. That way it'll be underneath. Take our edit off, and we're good. I'm going to put it just inside. So we'll go there, there, there. And bam. Do a little bit of a fade out here. All right, that's good. Same thing. And we're good. Perfect. Now I'll tell you the one thing we're missing right here, we should have a little shadow cast. Now this one, if you look, we can't put that as on layer 4. It's going to go under the roof. So this is where we're going to have to do this above the roofs. And this is not going to be as big of a shadow because it's really close up to that. So we're going to go here to there. Subtle shadow, that's all we need. So we're good. Good, good. And then this is our sun side, so no shadows necessary there. We're good. All right, our roof is fixed. After whatever happened with our layer debacle here, we have our second floor, and we have our first floor. Now we get to wall it in again. Now, I believe we placed this pattern on layer 1. We need to fix that. And we need to fix that on both first and second floor because we want to make sure that there is a shadow cast on the same side as what we have on the roof. So it doesn't matter because we're on the first floor thing here. So let's select that and see it's on layer 1. Using the shadow we're using now, I think I can leave this on layer 1 and give myself another layer. We're going to experiment with this and see if this works. And I think it's going to work. So let's put our wall down. We're going to do it on this one. It's the other thing. The other shadow we were using to make it work right, we had the shadow kind of would come in and creep under the wall on that layer 1, where this has a hard edge, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So I need a description of this building since we're nope, I don't, because we had the wall selected. We were building this damn building. Let's zoom. And let's start placing our walls. So, wall there. You know what? We can leave the beveled corners on. I knew that was out of square. And that's one thing. You have these floorboards that are square. You can always fix any little mistakes that way. So as long as these things look parallel to the floorboard, we're good. This one needs to come in just a little bit, like that. And who knows, maybe we're making a broad assumption that the carpenter that built this thing was way too exact. All right, that floor is done. Second floor. We're going to have to make some adjustments because I feel like we're ever so slightly off on some of these. That's good. This one needs to go up a little bit. You can see it's kind of askew. That one's good. And that one's good. All right, we've got that fixed. Now, let's do what we were talking about. Lay down our shadows. All right, so we're going to do on layer 1. We'll run the shadows along the wall. We're going to bump that up in size. Let's take a look at it. That's fine. Undo. We're going to have it transition out to a fade. Oh, we did that above roof. Let's fix that. So we can put this on layer 1. And like I said, I'm a little bit excited about the fact that this will we'll let this one fade in. You know what? That fade is getting way too faded as we go. Let's do that. So we go here, here, here. See, right there is where our spline issues are going to be. So we can take this to that point. Let's take a look what happens here. See, I think on our inside corners, wouldn't be a bad idea to drop that hard shadow, but I think we're good. First floor. We don't need a shadow here. We're going against our rule of the sunlight. So we do need a little bit kind of coming out here from the building itself. Go there, there, and there. And we'll bring this in here. Right to here. And same thing here. Let's zoom out and see how that looks. What's going on there? I must have like a weird double click there. See that? There we go. Try it again. Let's take a look and see. All right, that's got shadows there, and we did the roof, so we're good. Now we can leave this building alone. Well, we can't until we do this and do the save on it, I guess. Save is very important. Now I want to go over here to this building. So this building actually has a cellar, which is underground. So we need to create that. I believe that what this is, And instead of going there, let's just go ahead and find the building description. Oh, that was what I needed. All right, let's get rid of that. Now I'm excited because I've got something silly coming today, so I got to keep an eye out for the Amazon guy. I mean, it's not really silly. It's something I've wanted in the kitchen for a while. Um, I cook a lot. Nobody else really does any cooking in the house except me. So, like every day, I'll cook a big meal. This weekend, we didn't. When St. Patty's Day came around, usually what I'll do is make corned beef and cabbage, and have the kids up, and the pan I use is really freaking deep, like like that. So it's a pain in the butt. It's deeper than it needs to be, but because of the width that I need, I have a real hard time. I can't get a Dutch oven the size that I need. So I finally went ahead and bought a braising pot, which will be 14 inches wide and 6 inches deep. So, and it's stainless. So I'm excited about that. Little things like that get me excited. So we'll be waiting and listening for that. Can't let somebody steal my braising pan. All right, so let's take a look at. Let's see, Lion Shield Custer. That's what we were just doing. Hanging above the front door of this modest trading post. That's like the biggest building in town. Look at this shit. Let's pan out here. Other than the inn, this is a massive freaking building. It's pretty. I can't say this is a modest trading post. I mean, this is a modest trading post up here. The Barthen's Provisions, that building we built last week, that's yeah, you can call that a modest trading post. But this is a big trading post. So they ship finished goods to Phandalin and other small settlements throughout the region, but this outpost has been hard hit by banditry. The most recent Lion Shield caravan to Phandalin never arrived. It was attacked and cargo captured by the Cragmaw goblins. Master of the Phandalin post is sharp-tongued human woman of 35 name, whatever, doesn't matter. In the back room, she keeps supply of armor and weapons, all of which are for sale to interested buyers. So, we'll be able to put armor racks and stuff in there. Um, so when they were in Cragmaw Hideout, that first map that we did that we're going to redo so it works with levels, um, they would have found a bunch of stuff. And they can go ahead and bring that here, which will get them gold as well as promises of help. So, hopefully your characters, if they find something like that, which let's face it, it's going to have the mark. In fact, let's take a look. Let's look at room 8. Clark's Cave. The piles of sacks and crates can provide half cover to any creature, blah, blah, blah. Hidden among the supplies, unlock treasure chest belonging to Clark. That doesn't matter. So it says the captured stores are bulky and the characters will need a wagon to transport them. If they return the supplies to Lion Shield, Coster, and Phandalin, they earn a reward of 50 gold. So for them to know, and this is as a DM, it doesn't really say this, but they should sit there and be like, they left out a simple sentence. These crates have the symbol of Lion Shield Coster, right? And when they get to town and they're walking around, they could go, this place has a sign out, says Lion Shield Coster. There you go. Right there, that's who those goods belong to. Maybe there's a reward. Instead of, hey, let's steal this shit. All right, so we're going to have to figure out how we want to build this building out. But first I want to figure out how we're going to go about making this cellar here. So let's go to the Town Master's Hall. Sturdy stone walls, a pitched wooden roof, and a bell tower at the back. So we'll need stone walls here. And I think we did that. Excuse me. And let's look at the second floor. So that's our bell tower. Now what I'm thinking is we need to put some breaks in these walls. I want a 3x1. But we need it in dark. And the reason we want this is it's a bell tower. So you wouldn't have a closed-in bell tower. That would make less than no sense. So we'll need that there. We need to redo and rethink these shadows. So we're going to get rid of those. What the hairy freaking hell happened here? What is going on right here? It's creating a really weird overlap. See, we're fine until we do this wall right here. Because there was a weird point there. I don't know why it was there. Let's get rid of that point altogether. What the? Oh, that was warped. Look at that. What the hell is going on? I'm going to redo this wall because that is fucked. That is just wrong. All right, so that's wall, stone, wood, earthy, dark, A. I'm just making sure that... wrong way. We got to go the other direction. All right, so let's see what this does. Wow. That was weird. How's it going, DACA? We're going to go with that because that's a long name. I hope you're having a good day. I'm telling you, I have no idea what was going on there. That was messed up. That was messed up. Whatever happened with that wall when we started putting in our portals there before we need to put our rails in, that was weird. I think that looks even. Now we're going to put some railing in. Let's use our flintlock guns. What what system are you using? All right, let's see if we can find rail. I know we've got like a stair rail path. We just have to find it. We have a lot of paths. All right, stairs, railing. That's what we're going to use. And tell you what, let's put something that offsets it just a little bit. I want the wood to look relatively nice. 5e. I mean, that would, if I was building out a flintlock for 5e, considering the amount of time, that would probably get fired every other round. And I don't know if the action economy would make it worth would make it worth using. It definitely wouldn't get a shot in every round with it. Oh yeah, because it was just a ball and no rifling. All right, now we need to let's play with our width here. That's not wide enough. I think that's good. Yeah, I mean, I would give it the loading property though, so that what the oh, so that ooh, so here we go. We want that to be even with that one, because we know these floorboards are running fine, so that makes that even. I don't know about the other. This is Dungeon Draft. It's a $20 mapping program. Works. The reason I'm using it here, I'll show you. I'm using it for my virtual tabletop that I use because it integrates well. Now, like the main reason I'm using this is so that this works. So here we have the town center, and I build inside of Dungeon Draft for this map so that each level now it's a bit misbehaving. I don't know what's going on here. It's like it's doing level comparisons that it shouldn't be doing. So there's my ground, then the plot where I will place the building. Then there's the first floor, the second floor, and then the roofs. And each of these components will be pulled out as a tile and stacked inside of Foundry so that it works like this. So here we are. I've only put one building in. This is my test map to make sure everything's lining up and working well. But here's your character outside on the ground walking around the building. All right, they walk up, they open the door and go in. What just happened? Oh, I know what happened. So now they're inside. Let's go back outside. They walk through the door. The roof goes away. Here we have our line of sight all set up. Then, once you come over here, we're still on the first floor. You step there. They won't see that writing and stuff, but now they're upstairs. It just threw us upstairs. And because we're building it so it's tiled, if they walk over to the window, they're still able to look out and see the other buildings in the ground floor map that is outside. So we're making it so that I can export this as a module for the map itself. Obviously, we're not going to create a module for Lost Mine of Phandelver. I'm just creating the maps for it. DM will have to populate it and do all that good stuff. But all of these buildings, once you get up close to the building, the roof kind of goes away. They can come up right here and be looking through the windows and look inside. When they're away, they can't. There's a way to do it, but it uses a ton of resources, and we don't want that happening. But each one of these plots are buildings that we're building out to finish up so that these are the explorable buildings, the named locations in the module, and then everything else, they're not explorable. But they'll be able to come in and talk to the NPCs and all the stuff inside of these buildings, explore in there, if they're invited in. Hopefully they don't break in because, I hate that crap. You go into a town you're supposed to save and you start breaking in everything and, there's a jail here, so we all know the trouble character who is the rogue and says, well, I'm a thief, so I'm going to steal shit. Okay, enjoy jail. But, this allows me to go in and create the map so that everything works the way that it should. And I'll be honest, it's been a fair amount of work, and then I still have to convert the buildings and scenes so that I also have it set up as a night scene as well. So they'll be able to come in and if they're walking around at night, which, let's face it, there's a good chance the characters will be. Let me save. Menu. And I did some testing on this map. I've only done, I think, one floor. So we'll end up converting like that second floor to all night scenes, the entire map. And then we'll have two full sets, day and night. I'm not going to worry about stuff like, oh, there's a winter map and there's a this map. No, there's a day map and a night map. That's all I'm going to do. Because that's enough work. All right, so Snap is such a pain. But this is a nice program because it's 1999. I checked, it's still at 1999, and you can get a lot done. Now, one of the really nice things with this is all those, if you just want to create a flat map that doesn't have multiple layers, um, I just saw, yeah, it's just a one-time purchase of 1999. Now, like I'm using Forgotten Adventures assets, and I go ahead and pay a Patreon, I think like $3 a month, something like that. And I'm going to switch over to something else because these are going to go up on my Patreon as a, you know, Patreon asset. I have a lot of maps that I've given away that I give away for free, like all the work that I did on Dungeon of the Mad Mage. But these where I'm creating it as a module to import, those are going to be on a per creation basis. And at the rate that I go, it might be one or two creations a month at most because I spend a lot of time on the detail on these things. These shadows need to be fixed because they're totally screwed. But for 20 bucks, it does give you a really nice program. If you build a flat map instead of doing it layered like I'm doing, planning to go in and create something using levels and all the stuff that I use in Foundry to make it so you can transverse the different levels and make it seamless, you can do that. And then like all these walls that you build, they will actually come out inside of Dungeon Draft automatically. Now, like this building, because I'm exporting each layer not as a DD to VTT file, which is how you have it export doors, windows, everything. These are being exported as WebP files, graphic files that use a little bit less memory. Then I have to go in and go ahead and draw the sight lines on these buildings. But I tell you what, let's do this. All right, that time it worked. So I think this has some really old maps on it, but let's pull this in. All right, so let's pull this one over. I think I ended up redoing this map since I built this. But so here's like level 9 of Dungeon of the Mad Mage in here. And as you can see, this is a huge freaking map. It's just absolutely massive. Um, but when you finish inside of Dungeon Draft, this will show you where the walls are. All the walls, all the doors, everything you create inside of Dungeon Draft transposes over. So your walls, doors, windows, everything when you export the DDTT file just comes over. You don't have to come in and do all this crap of drawing walls. So if you're just doing a massive flat map that doesn't require you to have multiple levels, and you can, here's the thing. Let's say that you wanted to build that town and have the second floor on some of those buildings. You can go old school and, either off to the side create the second levels and use something like multi-level tokens so that when they go up the steps, it seamlessly transports their tokens over to that second floor that might be over here. So they won't even know the difference. They would go up the steps and then bam, it transports them over. But it wouldn't give you the ability to, when they get on the second floor, look out the window and see the rest of the town like you should be able to. So that's like the downside to it. Now, you could also do it so that this it would be a lot more work. You'd be doubling down, but you could do one map that had your first floors on it, and then the buildings that had second floor, duplicate that map and then create the second floor on that map. And then it would go from like one scene to the other where it would transport from one to the other. But then you've got the load time for the map. So it's just easier to have those tiles stacked up and make it work that way. But that's why I use Dungeon Draft, because it gives me those options. Like on a large map, if you're in a dungeon crawl and you don't have multiple levels, they can just go through and travel through there. And as a DM that likes to make their own maps, those maps are automatically just going to be transposed over with the walls, windows, everything, doors, and I have that much less work to do inside the virtual tabletop. All right, so we did our building outline here. I'm going to kill these shadows, and I'm going to replace the shadows for the building. Let's go to our second floor. We don't have shadows there because we just redid it. And I guess the roof. No, we're not going to keep that either. All right. I'll keep that shadow there. That's fine. Let's go ahead and path out our shadows. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to path out that rail. Let's go to level 2. We'll path the rail out, and then we'll redo our shadows on these levels. And then once we bring this in, like this, it's a bell tower, right? And your bell's going to be sitting up here. It will have the bell there, but we'll be able to set it up so that there's a hole right in this floor inside of Dungeon Draft. And that'll allow, your players will be able to stand up here and look down and see the floor below. Now, I will need to create something here for how they're going to get up. Maybe steps, maybe we'll do a ladder. We'll see what we want to do. I hadn't decided that when I first started working on this building, but we'll decide it now. All right, so let's do this. We'll go under, go there. Oh my God, blood path. Why is it doing this now? All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. And there's the path. That was weird. All right, there's rail. That is over. The path won't go over the wall. So what is it doing? Oh, I know my problem. You do have to be conscious of your layers on this. Otherwise, you get a ton of stuff piled up and it becomes unworkable if you need to make adjustments. So that's good. That's good. That's good. In fact, it's not good at all. We're going to match the railing here. And I'm pretty sure that was this, the dark rail. Let's go there. What's going to bother us that this pattern is slightly askew, but we'll live. And it gives you a lot of options. You can set up stuff like this, like block light. This would create this as a wall. We don't really want it as a wall. We want it as a terrain wall. So we could create this as a separate item that becomes a wall, but we're going to, inside of Foundry, convert this over to a terrain wall, which allows the characters to walk over to it and see everything outside of here, but they can't just walk off and fall on the ground and take their, what, 2d6 of damage falling because they decided to bungee jump off the bell tower. And let's face it, characters will bungee jump off the bell tower. They'll do dumb stuff once in a while. And I think, you know what? I know what we're going to do. We're going to use our pattern tool, the zero pattern. We're going to use that. We're going to set this to black. And nope. Oh, I have it on square. We're going to create the appearance of a hole. I think we're going to adjust the opacity there, because we want it to look like we're going to put this on layer 2. We want it to look like you can see the floor down below. So let's see what this does for opacity. Are we happy with that? Let's bring it up just a little bit. All right, that's good. So this would give the appearance of a hole here. And then we're going to put some edging around it. So I guess we'll go here let's use our path tool. And in fact, you know what? We can use this. Let's take the size down. Let's see how big that is. Undo that. Make it just a little bigger. This will give us, instead of leaving it just like that, we'll go, did exactly what I said earlier not to do. So we're going to go here, we'll go there, corner, down. Anytime you have a corner, you just use these, create 3 points, and it will give you a nice corner without any weird shit happening. All right, so now it looks like kind of a hole. And then once we place this in here, put this on layer 2. See, now it looks like it's going down there. We're going to take the size down just a little bit, like that. Let's turn this shadow off. So we'll drop that there. And we just want layer 2. Let's get this nice and exact. So we'll put that so it looks like it's just going over the edge of that, right? Let's zoom out and see if it looks like a hole. So there. I mean, you've got the same floor down below. It looks like we have a hole. We'll call that good. And then down below, we'll need to create something down there for an indicator of that. Probably what we'll do is like a little bit of a wall, if we can. But we'll figure that out on the bottom level. But that works. In fact, I have an idea. See, if we put it here, so it kind of lines up with the wall. So we'll be able to set it against the wall on the bottom. And if we need to, we can move these items over just a little bit and make it work. And what we'll do is place a teleport point on the bottom floor. So if for some reason they want to go up in the bell tower, they can. Now, we need to see if we have a bell. A big bell. See, I don't like that. Do layer 3. I think I have an idea what I want to do here. So we're going to place the bell there. Then on layer 4, see, we don't want to start placing beams there. So I think what we're going to do, let's see if this works. Let's see if we have a hard shadow going across. Curious if this will do what I want it to do. Undo there. We're going to put this on layer 4. And that gives us an indication of rafters above. Even though the shadows don't make a lot of sense, it does give us an indication of those rafters above holding up that bell. Now, hey, Gift to Gabby, how's it going? I'm going to place some rail posts here. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. All right, so we're going to put that, that, and that. And we're going to place a few rail posts here. Let's scale it down just a little bit more for these rail posts. You know, that doesn't make sense. Objects on layer 4. All right, let's get these squared up. And then our bell tower we'll call done. On your fade tea party. Oops. Fortunately, can't do any real damage there. And how's that going? How far along are you? It's pretty whimsical. And I think, let's do this. We're going to copy, paste. I don't know. Does that work? Do those shadows work for what I wanted to? Because like I said, I don't want boards across there because it's just going to make it look bad. That indicates that you've got those rafters above holding that bell. So I think that's the effect we want to go with. I think it works. I feel like it works. And now we can tell it works. And now we can tell that this is railing because we put the little corner posts on. We've got these here. Instead of making it look like a wall, it looks like a railing. So I think that tiny little level room is finally done today. Ah, all right, let's go to our first floor. And we need to compare to that second. Oh my God, do you see this? It's doing that crap again where it comes up and it's kind of almost transparent. An awakened pig. So let's save this and we're going to reopen it. I wish I knew what was causing. This is like new behavior. Before we started. Oh, my dog finally moved. I can be comfortable again. Before we started using 1.3.2, we didn't have that weird compare levels behavior. Real fake, Cordelia. Mr. Wiggles. Let's do it one more time. And because it's doing that, I have to reopen this program. That's always a good thing. Spinning mouse wheel and not responding on the program. There we go. That always instills confidence. Your favorite NPC? All right, let's do this. So while we're waiting for that, you weren't in earlier when I was showing how this thing's going to work. We finally got the levels modules to work properly in here, which makes me extremely happy. Name Min and Max. So we were having some issues last week with some things not working properly. But now we walk up close to the building. You can be a peeping Tom and look in through the windows when you're up next to it. You can go in. Wooly the aloe folk. But this is what we've been working to make it function. So we're on the first floor. Step there. Now we're on the second floor. It automatically kicks you up. And the nice thing is, instead of like, old school maps, if you have a second floor, it'll be off to the side in a box and you can't really see anything. With this, it's stacked, so the players, as they move around, can look out and still see the town. And let's say there was like combat here and I had bigger windows, they would be able to see out there, shoot their arrows after they open the window, do whatever they needed to do. So it took some messing around, but we got this all to work. So after we've got all our levels done, we're going to start importing them into Foundry when we're completed and export this so that it can be downloaded with all the functionality directly on it. But I'm real happy with the fact that now, players can go up and down stairs and it works. And when they're outside, there's the building back again. So we're pretty excited about that. That's the only building that we have set up that way right now, but we're pretty excited about it. Even when we take our time showing that this thing still isn't loaded. I think I'm going to get rid of that asset pack because we're not using it. It's not going to affect this map at all. Rabby the rabbit folk. Let's fix that. So watch. Now compare levels works. That's maddening when it does that. Second floor. We need to see where that ladder falls. And So much fun naming the NPCs. That's the key, having fun. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Let's make life easy. Let's, I was getting ready to be like, oh, wow, let's look up and see. Instead of messing around, we're gonna do this. Watch. There's our ladder. Copy. Paste. Done. Easy is always better. All right, let's go ahead and start aging this floor. I think we want to take that down just a little bit. Let's make it more subtle. Let's take it down to like 3%. Let's see how that does. Still not subtle enough. Why is that not? There we go. I don't think we can make it any more subtle. Maybe we're just going to let's give ourselves big to small. We just need maybe one more spot. Like that. I think that's better. All right, now we need another overlay. I think we need to rotate down about 20 degrees. Let's see. We need to jack that down a lot more than that. There we go. It's nice and subtle. It's not noticeable, but it is noticeable. That's the key. All right, now the floor doesn't have that heinous, homogeneous look to it anymore. Second floor. Trying to figure out if we put something down there for that. I don't think we did. Let's go ahead and do this. And this is exposed to the elements, so we need to add some weathering here. All right, that's good. All right, now we're on the first floor again. We just need to figure out how this Townmaster's Hall is set up. And so here's the other thing we need. We need a cellar. And the cellar sits below this ground. Now, in the cellar is a 2-cell jail. So I guess first let's lay out the first floor. Figure out where the stairs are going down to the jail. Then we'll go ahead and create that subterranean level. I mean, specifically, let's see, what does it say? No functioning government. Current townmaster is male human banker. Named Harbin Wester, a fat, pompous old fool. Has a small but serviceable jail in the cellar. Has 2 cells. Harbin carries the keys to the cell doors. All right, so all right, we'll create. So right there we need, honestly, probably something indicating that there's maybe some light coming down from there. I think we're going to wall this off below. So let's go ahead and do that. Zoom in, we'll edit this a little bit. You son of a bitch. Those wall shadows are like the bane of my existence. All right, so that gives us the bell tower room. We'll probably create it so that maybe there's some storage in here. So Townmaster's Hall, we have to assume that they would have like town meetings, stuff like that. Let's compare this also to the ground. Yeah, that's our only entrance there. And I think to go along with this, I know there's a notice board. We're going to place the notice board on the first floor. Object tool, we need a sign. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Notice board. Let's place that there. So the notice board has 3 quests on it. So how do we want to set this up? Do we want to have it so that there's like a meeting hall in here? I know we're going to need an office. So let's figure out, I think what we're going to do, we're going to create this like a storage thing. We'll do the town master's office like here. We'll do another little zone here. Tell you what, we're going to create a little room here, and that's going to take our stairs down into the jail area. So, all right. That's pretty close. This is why, let's be honest, this is why, you know, a lot of DMs are going to, or people who make maps, they're not going to do what I'm doing here. They're going to go ahead and create them square to the grid. But we're not opting to do that. And we'll be able to fix this right quick and in a hurry. We're just going to use a simple plank. We're going to set that on layer 3. And this is going to be our measuring tool. Since we don't really have a ruler, we're making one. So we'll do copy paste. Set this down here. And this way we can get our, which we're damn close. We're damn close there to being square. That's good. Delete. Then we're going to make sure this wall up here is square the same way. I mean, there are probably better planks we can use for this, but for right now, we're fine. All right, we're good there. And like I've said before, we're only doing that so that we can get these walls relatively perpendicular to each other. I'm not worried about exact perfection, but especially since we're not square to the grid. All right, so those are good. It's probably a better plank. We're going to set that just anywhere, and we'll use that. All right, so we did say this was going to be our entrance to the underground jail. Let's put a door here. Now, you know what? Let's finish getting this stuff set up. This is going to be the office for the guy. I think we're going to make it just a little bit bigger. we did okay there. Alrighty, so we'll put a little desk here. We'll set this up like it's a meeting hall. That works. Then we just have to figure out other small particulars. But let's create our stairs going down. We want slate? I don't think so. No, we don't want sandstone. Earthy. So we need that, a landing, and that. We want the shadow from that to function there. Now we need another wall, because this is going down underground. So now you can't tell by looking at it. Instead of looking like it's, you know, going up, that'll give us the indication that she's going down. All right, that's good. See if we can place a door here. See how far out we can bring this so that we can actually let that door be created. We're going to redo that wall. Okay. Now I'm hoping... Actually, let's do it this way. I think it'll look cleaner and it won't screw it up. We'll do what we've been doing for these doors. afraid no matter what I do here. All right, that's good. So I think what we need to do is get rid of. I kind of screwed up doubling down those doors. when you're placing a door, you kind of need to look at where does it make sense for it to open. I mean, this, because it's off to the side, it makes more sense for it to open this way instead of in the way of anything down here. All right, now let's create some windows. Come on. So now we just have to figure out how we want to decorate this dude's office. What we're doing with this, this, and this. But we laid this out because we wanted to get this cellar done. We're going to compare that to the first floor. Okay. There we go. We got it right in the right spot. First time. Yeah, baby. Now, I mean, we really don't need to worry about that much as far as placement for anything because this is all below ground. But we're going to just compare to our plot level on the ground and start building there. See, I think that's just a texture. No, that actually works. All right. See if we have a cave wall. Why is our select tool not working now? All right. So I'm going to have to, let me check something real quick. I'm going to get off for probably about a half hour to an hour. I'm going to drop my daughter off, eat something, let the pups out, and then we'll get back on and work on this some more. So hopefully we'll catch y'all when we get back on. Otherwise, we'll catch you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.